All right, welcome back. It is part 3 of the challenge. Moving up the body, we worked on the foundation, we worked on our second brain, the pelvis, and for this week, we're focusing on the heart, opening up the heart. And we're gonna do a meditation to begin today's practice. You should be firmly established in your meditation practice from week 2, doing your morning meditation. But in this practice, we're gonna focus on the heart and having an attitude of loving kindness, embracing, showing love towards ourselves, loving kindness towards ourselves and others. So we're going to close the eyes, let the heart open, and cultivate that. Sit up tall, shoulders open, close your eyes. You can rest your hands in your lap, wherever feels comfortable. If it feels like there's something from blocking you from having an attitude of love, oh yeah, there's that one person that I gotta have some resentment against, can't let go of that. Practice letting go, especially of that one. Oh, that lady in HR, oh my gosh, you gotta let go of that one too. All the resentments that block us from having this attitude and this vibration of loving kindness. Let them go. Open up the heart. And feel that energy pulsing through the whole body. Then open up your eyes. And we're going to do a few things shoulder specific, because if the shoulders are closing off the heart all the time, then it's not going to want to open up. So with your arms at your side, let's just start by mobilizing the shoulder blades. Draw your shoulder blades forward, up by your ears, squeeze them back and down. Forward and up, squeeze them back and down. Change the direction, squeeze them back and up. Go forward and down. Squeeze back and up, forward and down. Put your left hand behind your lower back, right hand behind your head. Draw the elbows in. Spread the elbows out. So you're opening the front of the shoulder. Draw elbows in, open back of the shoulder. Open the front. Now squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Stretch them out. Squeeze in, stretch out. Change hand position, right hand on your lower back, left hand behind your head. In and back 3 times. Hold in the open position, pull the blades in, and reach them away. Pull the blades in, reach away. Release that. Take your right arm up into a Y position as well as the left. Then curl the fingers in, the thumbs point back. Squeeze your shoulder blades in, spread your shoulder blades out. Squeeze in, spread out. One more time. Spread out and stretch, and release. And we're going to do one more stretch here, and this is an L-DOA. So we're going to aim the rib cage straight down, the tail straight down, tuck the chin. Reach through the crown of your head. Turn your right palm to face the floor, and then pull the fingers back. Take it out to the side slightly. Take your left arm out to the side. Traction through the spine, sit bones straight down, chin in. And then I want you to internally and externally rotate your arm. And if you got this right, you should feel you're getting pull on the fascia as well as the nerves. And then with the fingers pointing up, pull the fingers back towards you. Reach to the top of the head, chin tucked, reach down to the sit bones. Reach the finger, pretend like you're pushing through the heel of the hand, reach through the heel of the hand, Stretch the fingers. And you should feel that the shoulders are getting a nice pull. It might even feel, if you're really tight in the nerves in the arms, you might even start to feel tingling or burning. Slowly bring your left arm forward, release it, release the chin tuck, the spine traction, and release that. Could you feel it at all? Okay. Try it with the left arm. Turn the left hand to point, fingers to point back, put the stretch, reach through the heel of the hand. Chin tucked, pull up through your crown, down through your sit bones. Take the right arm out to the side, and we'll practice internally and externally rotating. And then turn the fingers to point up. Oh, dang, there it is. Reach to the heel of each hand, keep the chin tuck, stretch up through the crown, down through the sit bones. Don't let the ribs flare. And slowly bring your right arm forward, release. Good job. All right, shoulders should feel like they're moving a little bit better. Come onto your hands and your knees now. And let's go for cat-cow. So as you inhale, flip your sit bones up, and like a wave through the spine, roll up. And as you exhale, tuck your sit bones, round through your spine. Inhale into extension. Exhale into flexion. Inhale into extension. Exhale into flexion. Find neutral. One leg at a time, step into, actually, with your knees down, curl your toes under. You're gonna like this one, I think. Draw your rib cage in. So we have a tendency as soon as we go onto the hands to let things drop like this. Instead, draw your rib cage in, open the back of the heart, back of the rib cage, middle rib cage. Now maintain the opening in the back of the heart, back of the rib cage as you lift your knees up 1 inch. Draw your front hip bones in. Now see if you can keep this feeling and step your right leg back. Rebend your right knee. Keep your front hip bones in as you reach the left leg back. Rebend your left knee. Reach the right leg back. Keep the opening in the middle back ribs. Rebend. Left leg back. And rebend. Set the knees down, toes point back, stretch back into child's pose. Breathe into the opening in your back ribs. Now come onto your hands with your hands right next to your knees. We're going to try this exercise to strengthen the core, but also solidify that opening of the back ribs. So to mobilize the heart spine, we want the back and the front to be open. Opening up your back ribs, drawing your belly in, can you press into the tops of the feet and lift your knees up? And then back down. Lift up. Hollow the back ribs. Open them up. Back down. Back up. Back down. 2 more. Last one. Hold for 3, 2, lower it back down. Ooh. Come onto your hands and your knees for downward dog. Now when you go into down dog, don't let everything drop to the ground. I want you to keep the opening in the back ribs. So go slowly, pull the hips up and back. Keep all that opening. Notice the tendency for the back ribs to want to lose their space as you reach back into the dog. Now take your feet outer hips distance apart, swivel your heels over to the right, stretch into your left armpit chest. And change sides. Come back to center. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Bend the knees slightly as you let your head drop. And roll yourself up. Balance up over your ankles. Heels descend, open the sole of the foot, stretch the toes. Feel Pada Bandha. Your groins release back and your tail aims straight down from pelvis weak. Now what about the heart and the shoulders? What should we do there? Instead of projecting your sternum forward and up, you can see how out of alignment this puts me. Instead, I want your bottom sternum, which if you have a top and a bottom sternum, that's here and here, let the bottom sternum aim down towards your hips. You can see that I come into better alignment when I do that. Then, keeping the bottom sternum in, spread the collarbones. Don't squeeze your blades together, just spread across the base of the back of the neck and the base of the front of the neck. If you get it just right, you could look in a mirror and you could see like from your ankle to your shoulder to your hip to your ear, there's a perfect line. We haven't got one here, so we have to just, I hope I have it. Please have this line. Inhale your arms up. Hold the line. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows and then back bend in your upper back. So a little back bend in your heart. And then as you inhale, raise your arms back up. Exhale, fold forward. And we'll do that through Surya C. Inhale, flat back. Step your left leg back into a lunge and lower your knee down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend your elbows out to the side. Back bend in your upper back. Lift up your heart. Tailbone in now. Don't let the pelvis sneak up into the lower back. Raise your arms back up. Hands down. Curl your back toes, lift your back knee. Step back into down dog. Inhale into plank pose. Exhale into dog pose. Raise your left leg up behind you, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, step your foot up to your thumb. Lower your right knee down. Come up in neutral first. Reach down through the knee. Pelvis and ribcage connected as you raise the arms. Then as you exhale, bend the elbows, back bend in your upper back. Lift from the back of your heart, like I put my knee in your middle upper back, pulled up. Inhale, arms back up. Hands down to the mat. Curl back toes, lift back knee. Step your back leg forward. And fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Take a hold of your left wrist and side bend to your right. Inhale back up, change sides. Inhale back up, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step your right leg back into a lunge. Lower your knee. Come up through neutral, pelvis and ribcage connected. Exhale, arms into cactus. Inhale, reach back up. Hands down. Step back into down dog. From down dog, come right into upward dog. Stretch back into down dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. Lower your back knee down. Come up through neutral. Pelvis aims straight down, rib cage connected. Exhale into cactus. Inhale back up. Hands down, curl your back toes, lift your back knee. Step your back leg forward. Inhale, come all the way up. With your left hand, take a hold of your right wrist. And side bend. Come back up. Change sides. Back up. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank pose. Set your knees down, set your elbows down. Now I'm going to give you two options. You can do side plank on your elbow, which is going to be the most challenging with the feet stacked like so. If you want to make it a little less gnarly, you can drop a knee down. So I'm going to leave it up to you. But we're going to do a variation in side plank that's going to help to mobilize the shoulders and the thoracic. So bring your left hand behind your head, right elbow down, whether it's knees down or legs straight. Now as you exhale from your strong chest muscles, I want you to squeeze in, curl your left elbow towards your right. And then as you inhale, feel the back of the right armpit and shoulder turn on and open up. Feel your back muscles engage without pushing your ribs out. Exhale, contract in the chest, squeeze in. Inhale, feel in the back of the shoulder, armpit turn on. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. And slowly change sides. Oh, damn, Michelle, you went for it. Michelle's been going for it throughout this series. I don't know if you've noticed. Put your right hand behind your head. Connect the rib cage to the pelvis. Tailbone in. Exhale. Inhale. Feel back of the right arm, back of the left armpit. Drive through the elbow. Exhale. Inhale. Nice. Good job with the rib cage, Alexis. Keep the rib cage connected to the pelvis. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Both elbows down. Knees down or legs straight. Your call. Hold for 10. Now see if you can draw your body back so the elbows come in front of the shoulders a bit without losing your strong abs. And then shoulders back over the elbows. Halfway there. One more if you can. Pull your body back in space so that the elbows come in front of the shoulders. Keep your core in, neck long, tail in. Shoulders back over the elbows. Lower your hips down, Sphinx pose. Down dog on the forearms. And then come right up into down dog or go for child's pose. All right, from downward facing dog, step your right foot up by your right thumb. Lower your left knee down to the ground. Bring your hands to your right knee and upright yourself. Now this one's kind of tricky because the knee is at risk here. So I like to lean forward a little bit, rock to the top of the knee, bend the knee, and then reach back with my hand to catch the foot, and then come back upright. So you should be more on the top of the kneecap instead of right on the middle of the knee. You can also fold your mat over if it feels like you're still grinding. You should have some cushion. We're on like real thick mats, all three of us. So if you're on a thin mat at home, make sure to get some cushion. Then soften your groins down, lengthen through the tail, feel your core connect. Reach straight down through the top of that knee. Let's try variation 2. Can you lean forward and bring the left hand to the ground? And you might feel a stretch in the different part of your quadriceps or your hip flexors when you do this. Release that. Bring your hips back over top of your left knee. And then wiggle your right foot forward until the leg is straight or almost all the way straight. Now, if you feel like you're really falling over onto the leg, you can put blocks underneath your hands to get a better stretch. Ideally, I'd like you to have a long spine and neutral spine. Now we're starting with the toes in plantar flexion, which is where the toes are pointed. Let's now go into dorsiflexion. So you slide the foot a little more forward and then pull the toes back towards you. You can hang out here, or if you'd like to go for full splits, feel free to go for full splits. Good, then let's go back into downward facing dog. Change sides, left foot forward, right knee down. Reach back with your hand for your foot. You can do same hand or opposite hand. We're showing it with the opposite hand. Let your right groin release back and down, flow down instead of harden forward and up. You should feel a connection up into the side of your neck and your throat when that happens. Reach from your hip straight down through your knee, like you're trying to drill the top of the knee straight down through the core of the earth. And then feel the back of your skull release back and up into position. One of my favorite things my teacher used to say is people be like, oh, we really want to do more heart openers. And she'd be like, just do all of your yoga poses with your heart open. And then every pose you do is a heart opener. Slowly lean forward. Maybe even bring your hand to the ground. So the way that you're doing this, instead of like, okay, got this pose, I'm good. You can do every pose that's helping to open up your heart and mobilize your thoracic spine, which is pretty good. Release that and come into the half splits with the plantar flexion at first. And just be mindful here. Are you going into slouchasana? You can use your arms. You can use the arms, the activity of the hands and the arms to help to mobilize the heart spine. Don't strain. Remember, we want to have an attitude of cultivating the loving kindness towards the body. So you're not trying to jam yourself into any of these stretches. Let the feeling of loving kindness, the energetic vibration, move through your whole body. Then go for dorsiflexion or for full splits and dorsiflexion, up to you. Make your way back to down dog. Now I'm going to give you the option. You could take legs wide apart, standing forward fold here. You could do down dog on your forearms for a minute of inverted time. Or you can do headstand or standing forward fold. Okay, on your marks. Get set, go. So in that position, we're bringing the heart up over the head. Lower yourself back down. Come into child's pose. You might spend your whole day ruled by the head and the thinking mind. Don't be so literal about this, because you can't actually be led by your heart. It's just an organ. But you know what I mean. But sometimes you should let your intuition, your heart guide you. And the more that we practice, as I mentioned at the beginning, how as we embark on the new path in our yoga practice, things just start to come to us, and we start to become more connected to our intuitive faculties, where we can allow our inner compass to guide us. Come to a seated position now. There's for sure some corny quote that I would have to post about that. Now you're going to curl the toes under with the toes spread out as wide as you can. And you can put a block in between your buttocks and your heels. And this will help to make sure that you're getting the toes to curl under better, but it'll also alleviate some of the pressure. It's not as gnarly, but if you really get the toes to curl under better, it's actually gnarlier. So it's like, then take your left hand behind your back from under, right hand from above. Now, if you can't bind the fingers, you can just grab your shirt and pull in opposite directions. If the toes feel like they're going to explode, you can uncurl the toes and just sit back like that, or you can stand on your knees if it's bothering your knees at all. There should be no violence to the toes or the knees. Release and change the position. Good, release that. Then point your toes back, just kidding. Then walk your hands back a foot behind you. Let your bottom sternum drop down. When you push from the bottom sternum, it jams up your lower back. Spread the collarbones and then start to lift your hips up to intensify the stretch. But keep the ribs aimed towards the pelvis. Keep spreading the collarbones without pushing the bottom sternum. Let the bottom sternum soften down. You can engage the glutes to lift up higher if you like. Drive down through the shins. Then lower your buns back down. You can repeat that last one or stand up on your knees for Ustrasana, Camel Pose. 5 breaths. Go ahead. Practice the same actions that you practiced in this prep pose. So the groin's released to the knees, the tail aims straight down to the knees. Bottom sternum softens, but then engage the backs of the legs to roll the chest open. And come back up. And sit back on your heels. Then take your feet over to the left and twist to your right. So I've just hooked my left ankle onto the arch of the right foot, but you can just do whatever you like with your feet. It doesn't matter so much. Come back to center and change sides. Feet over to the right, twist to the left. Back to center. Now check it out. We're gonna do a little bit of single leg pigeon. So let's see. Come onto your hands and your knees. Bring your right foot forward up to your right thumb. Then wiggle your right foot over towards your left thumb. Let the thigh externally rotate. You should feel a spot where it's like it can't rotate anymore. Then slide your heel closer towards you until the shin sets down. That should be your ideal spot. Then you can start to scoot your left knee back until you feel a stretch. If it still feels like it's bugging your knee after that way that we went in, just lie on your back and cross your ankle over your knee. Do the ankle to knee stretch, figure 4 stretch. Now you can stay in this upright position, or if you like, you can bend your left knee and reach back to catch your foot. But if your lower back jams up to do that, then don't do it so much. You can stay in the upright position, or you can release the foot and come onto the elbows, or lie all the way down. 5 more breaths. Come back up, change sides. So if you felt like that way helped you, or if you already know, like, I can kind of figure it out just by angling it. Hold there or reach back for your foot if you did on the other side. And release that, go into the forward position. Then from here, sit over onto your left hip and bring your right leg around. Sit with your legs crossed. And we're going to practice a little bit of breathing meditation. So for week 2, we were practicing mastering the Viloma pranayama, which is expanding the lungs on the inhalation. But we also want to be able to hold the breath and stay calm on the exhalation. It's a lot harder. That's why I'm going to introduce it second. So as you sit up straight and tall, without pushing your sternum out, breathe into the sides of the rib cage. Feel them fully expand and inflate. Pause at the top. Let a third of the air out. Pause. Let another third out. Pause. Let all the air out. And hold. Breathe in. Let a third out. Let another third out. Let it all out. Hold your breath. Breathe in. Fill up. Let a third out. Another third. Let it all out. And hold for 5. Breathe in. Slow breath out. Now, if you want to practice the seated meditation, that's totally fine. Otherwise, you can lie down on your back for Shavasana today. You could even do a heart and groin opener because the groins connect to the throat and the neck. So when the groins open, this neck tension can release, which pulls up on the chest and the heart. So this is one of my favorite Shavasana positions to open up the heart and the neck groins, the neck and the groins. So cactus arms with the elbows just slightly below the shoulders and knees supported in Baddha Konasana. Now bring your knees together. Roll over to your side. And press yourself up. Take a moment to notice how your spine, your shoulders feel. Bring your palms together. Thank you. Namaste. All right, well, thanks for joining us. Hey, leave a comment below and let me know about on that breath practice, if it felt like the exhalation one was harder or not, and if you felt any difference for your subtle body, for your energy as you're practicing that. Could you feel any subtle changes between holding the exhalation and holding the inhalation? Let me know what your thoughts are. All right, I'll see you on your mat. Have a great day. See you next time.